To get us started, we're going to clean our collard greens. I typically clean mine twice. The first time whole leaf, and then I'm actually going to cut them before cleaning them in shreds. I just cut down the middle, cut the stem out. Not cutting it completely in half, but just cutting the stem out. Then we're going to cut them bad boys into nice shreds. You just take them all in a batch, roll them up pretty tight like a burrito, and then cut them into, what's that word? Yeah, just cut them like that. It's a word, but yeah. I actually like to add onions and peppers to my collard greens. This is optional, but you see me cutting like a half an onion and then a quarter of a red pepper just to add color, and I just like the flavor, but this piece is totally optional. Now I'm getting ready to start my greens because they got to cook for a while. I'm just adding everything to a hot pan with some oil, and now I start my seasonings. I want y'all to pay attention to these seasonings because honestly throughout this video I seasoned it with most of the stuff. We got smoked paprika, garlic powder, pepper, salt, red pepper flakes. We got a little bit of liquid aminos and a little bit of liquid smoke because you know this soul food, you gotta have that smoky flavor like a turkey neck in there. And once all of the spices come together and it starts to simmer, I'm going to add some vegetable stock in it, just a little bit, because I honestly don't like watery greens. I'm going to add my little collard greens in there. Ribbons, that's the word I was looking for, ribbons. They were cut in ribbons. And when that comes to kind of like a boil, I just put it on low and let it sit. And now we're moving on to our fried crispy cauliflower. The first thing you want to do is break them up, cut the stem, and then break them into small pieces. And then I'm going to clean them. And now we're going to season these bad boys so they can sit in the refrigerator. I got some chicken seasoning, some paprika. All this is vegan. Some no salt Tony seasoning, pepper, and all of these are spices. I'm not using like no salt or nothing like that. I use a little bit of pink salt, but this is not like salty flavors. And yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of this fish fry mix. It's vegan just because I didn't want it to go to waste and I had a little bit left. I did put a little bit of mustard. If you fry chicken, then you know having crispy chicken, you gotta add a little mustard in there. That's the key ingredient. I'm gonna wrap this up and sit it in the refrigerator while I make my macaroni and cheese. Okay, y'all, so I know this is like a box store mac and cheese, but I have not found a great vegan recipe. This is the best version that I had. So this is the Daya, but I like to freak it a little bit. So I take my pack of cheese sauce, add a little bit of coconut milk, and then add some nutritional yeast to it. And then we're going to season that bad boy. That's the key to everything. You just got to season. I'm adding some other kind of like vegan style cheese. Then we're gonna do a little bit of smoked paprika, a little garlic powder, a little Tony's no salt seasoning, some pepper. I really like a lot of pepper in my macaroni. And I'm gonna mix that up, mix it. And this is simmering on low. And as you can see in the other pot across the big pot, I put in my potatoes because I'm making mashed potatoes. So the potatoes was just washed and cut in chunks and then put in boiling water until they were soft. And then I added a little bit of spelt flour here to just thicken it up. And I'm just trying to freak this flavor the best way I can. This is a little bit of vegan butter. And this is just me removing my potatoes putting my potatoes. If you like vegan soul food, you like this video. Okay, so yeah, I had cooked my noodles before, and now I have my noodles ready to get cheesed up. I'm adding a little bit of vegan butter. I did put a little salt and pepper on the noodles, pink salt, and now I'm just slowly adding in the cheese because I don't want it to be like too soupy. I want it to be kind of like baked macaroni. It's like creamy. I did add a little bit of vegan sour cream in here. And sauce is kind of in and it's evenly distributed. I'm just gonna spread out the macaroni and cheese, add a little bit of vegan shreds to the top. This was some pepper jack cheese. And like I said, I just wanted like a different flavor. I really like adding red pepper flakes to my mac. All right, so now we're moving and grooving. I'm gonna put this in the oven at 400, covered for about 10 minutes, and then uncovered for another 10 to 15 minutes until it becomes a little crusty on top. And now I'm just checking my potatoes to see if they're al dente. And this is my little secret ingredient to my collard greens. Add a little bit of white vinegar, just a little bit. You know, if you from the South, you know, we used to cook with vinegar in our collard greens. And then this is my other secret ingredient. Like I said, I'm used to growing up with a whole smoked turkey neck in my collard greens. So I'm going to add a little bit of smoked barbecue sauce. Don't tell nobody I told y'all this, but this is the secret ingredient. It's going to give your greens a little bit of smoky flavor, and it goes so well with the spice of the cayenne pepper, the smoked paprika, and the red pepper flakes that I seasoned it with. They were good, so I kept it moving. All right, so this part of the video, the food was cooking, so I had to get moving. I ain't had time to fool with y'all. I'm making my wet batter and my dry batter for my cauliflower. I added a little bit of coconut milk, unsweetened coconut milk, a little bit of vegetable stock, and now I'm just seasoning that. The same way I season the wet seasoning with the vegetable stock and the coconut milk is the same way I'm going to season the dry batter, the dry mixture. And all I used was spelt flour. You can use regular flour, it'll give you more of a crunch, but I just wanted something a tad bit more healthy. I did add a better than bouillon cube, the vegan chicken flavor. Smash that up in there. I put some chicken flavored seasoning in there. You just gotta season it up, honey. Just season it up, get that all that wet and that dry. This is my spelt flour over to the side. And to be honest, I ended up just putting that whole dry mixture in a Ziploc bag, and did the old school way where you put it in there and you shake it up and pop them bad boys in there. And as y'all can see, I'm seasoning both sides. I pretty much use the same seasonings throughout. And yeah, I'm gonna quickly show y'all what it looks like. I realized that I'm like doing this from an awkward angle, but this is the dry and the wet, dry and the wet, dry and the wet. And I just have in my cast iron skillet some oil on medium temperature, and I'm just gonna fry them regular. I did a double dip, so I dipped them wet then dry, then wet then dry. Now for my mashed potatoes, these things were so yummy. I love red mashed potatoes. They really add like a different flavor. But I'm adding my unsweet coconut milk. I'm going to add my vegan butter, some sour cream, and then I'm just gonna make sure you add herbs de Provence, or something that has like rosemary or like thyme, some of those more like potent herbs. It really adds a lot of flavor to it. And right now my stove is on medium low heat. I mean, because you're really not trying to cook the potatoes, they're already cooked. Mash them all together, whip it up, and look at them cauliflower over there in the back. Like, I'm so sorry that I could not really do my camera the way that I wanted to, but I just want y'all to know that them things were bumping. And yeah, I'm just going to mix up my mashed potatoes into the consistency that I like. Some people like theirs really smooth. I like mine's kind of lumpy, and I just added a little bit of vegetable stock just for flavor. And yeah, look at those cauliflower wings over there. Now, as soon as those cauliflower wings get out that hot oil, I'm gonna need y'all to drop a little bit more of the chicken flavored seasoning on them while they hot. Go ahead and do that. You gotta season them the whole time. I'm sorry, it's just. But yeah, I didn't really record good a finished product. This is my Instagram final picture, but it was so good.